Are you okay?
Yahoo!
Nice.
Finish it.
Tickle.
Today, I have one thing that I want to open the podcast with.
Oh boy.
Food theory.
Yes.
What a deeply enjoyable channel.
I know. I wasn't expecting it.
I had so much fun because you mentioned it to me last night when we were getting Five Guys, and I was just like, "Huh, that sounds interesting." And then I went home and binge watched the whole channel.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Episodes. No, it's great. I just saw Food Theory because I saw it on the Film Theory that they put out, kind of, and also a promotional thing. I was like,
Yeah, and those were two good theories from Game Theory and Film Theory.
Yeah.
Like those were two ones that I actually enjoyed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And I was like, that might not be good. And then I went there and I was like, might as well. And I watched the first one with the fry sizes, and I was like, okay, this is good.
It's good
I like
content.
this.
It's
And I
really
just
good
kept
content.
Watching the rest of them, I'm like, this is great. And it's like, I like food. I can watch stuff on food. I like saving money. I like psychology, so I really like the grocery store one. I like Marvel. I like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, that was kind of silly. That was silly, but I was a fan of it.
Yeah, that is just like, I think that's the most conspiracy theorist he's ever gotten, and I love it.
Yeah, I hope that he plays into that a bit more, because there's a really good energy to like intentionally blowing something over the top.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, because there have been times when you've thought MatPat has done that before, like when you thought that he was like, just this is wrong for no reason. Nothing comes to mind, but I'm just spouting words.
Yes.
But I want him to go into that more often.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was super fun. And I definitely think I think they had the smart thing of assuming people would watch them in still in order from the first one.
Yeah,
And starting with the fry one was actually a really good one to start with. And also, I appreciate that.
I see. I have a new commenting campaign where I want you to comment on every video I watch now. Just something. Go watch the Perfectly Average Guys. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Because I've had a lot of fun, so much fun chilling for the podcast.
Listen, we are just putting it out there on every possible place we can, like desperate. I don't know.
Desperately trying to get Reddit to not take me down.
Oh, Reddit.
Oh man. So there are Reddit bots that are like, hey, you can't post this unless you've been around for a certain amount of time and have a certain amount of karma. So you need to have 5 karma and be around for 5 days. I've been around for 15 days. And I have 12 karma. And they keep taking down my stuff. And it is frustrating. Because I'm like, yo, nobody cares about this r/podcasts anyway. Just let me post the shill on this. That's all that's all the Reddit's for. Or this subreddit is for.
Here's the interesting thing, though, is I don't know if these podcast type thing, could you tell if it was actually a Reddit bot, or was someone else's pretending to be a Reddit bot?
It was called an auto moderator, and at the end of hey, we took down your comment because it could be spam. Which, I mean, I don't need you to come from my entire family like that. But if you're just coming from me calling me spam, all right. Spam's not kosher, so I'm very offended. Secondly, it's at the end of the whole thing, it says, and this action was performed by a bot. And I'm like, well, thanks, Skynet. Very cool.
Very Hugo of you.
Very Hugo. All right, but beyond food theory, because I was so enjoying that. That's just enough said. I really enjoyed food theory.
I was not.
I want more of it.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited because I was not I might enjoy this, but then no, it's great.
Good job, MatPat. Good job.
One of the few people who can actually create an entire YouTube channel on food that isn't just baking it in recipes.
Nah, it was incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
And it feels like has a wealth of possibilities.
A wealth of possibilities.
I will be entertained.
Yes.
But beyond me being entertained, Jackson, what's going on with you?
What's going on? Absolutely nothing. No. I have cross country, which is fun and might not happen.
You running shirtless?
We're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to run shirtless? What's the point of cross country?
No, yeah. whole modesty thing, we're not allowed to run.
Modesty?
I wouldn't. I don't know. The thing is, all of like the senior guys that are like, it's like me and a couple other dudes. It's like we none of us have the confidence to run shirtless. And then there's like the freshman guys, and they would all run shirtless in a heartbeat.
Yeah. They run to practice shirtless and then put on a shirt. Yeah.
Just shout out to Gabe.
Gabe Traub
Who would definitely run shirtless.
Oh, I love Gabe. He's a sweetie pie.
He's a great human.
Does Gabe listen to this podcast?
I don't know.
If we put his name in the title and then send it to him, will he listen to the podcast?
It's possible. The title is just Gabe listen to this podcast.
Gabe Traub listen to this podcast. No, that's why do they have a modesty ruling on that?
I think it was more of like a fairness type thing because they also have all the modesty rules for girls.
Okay, fair enough.
So there's like we can't have no modesty rules for the guys.
So women are not allowed to wear just a bra type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and actually that was never an issue. The issue was always just the absolute shortest shorts possible. And like we don't have a big issue with it anyway because it's Christ prep kids and homeschooled Christian kids, so it's not like we would have a problem with it even if it didn't exist. It just has to exist so that they can say it exists. So that someone does break it, they have a thing they can say about.
When someone does break it, then Jesus Christ can be ashamed of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the one person that would actually break it breaks it.
Now, I actually have a funny story about a dress code because when you mentioned fairness in dress codes, I immediately chuckle a little bit because at my old school, my high school, the Daniel Academy, they every year they started off by going through the school manual, right, with the entire school. And
we definitely have one of those, and no one has read it. I don't even think most of the teachers have read it.
Well, even though no one wants to read it, it gets reprinted every year, and every year it gets reprinted. First couple days, we're gonna read through the manual as a school. And it's like all right and stupid, and it's just like normal school stuff, like, hey, don't shoot this school. I just said it, and then like you get to the POG. Now,
the porg,
the POG, yeah, the poggers in the the poggers in the chat. Yeah, can we get some PAGchamps? But the POG stands for Policy of Opposite Gender.
Oh boy.
Now, the POG is quite a meme at TDA.
I can imagine.
Because it's really stupid. But so you know, like Christian purity culture and all that.
Oh yes, it's very fun.
Jerry, you doing all right?
Yeah.
Give us a signal.
Jerry says we're doing fine.
Okay, cool. But purity culture and all that, and it's like it's purity culture to the extreme, though, to the point of there is a no dating policy at the Daniel Academy.
Seriously?
No dating whatsoever. There is a no physical affection policy.
No physical, yeah. For all those Daniel students who would just stroke each other's faces as you walk by.
Well, the thing is, dude to dude, we wouldn't do that because that's gay. But girl to girl happens all the time, and that's fine. Like snuggle piles to the moon and back. But you so much as be friendly physically with someone of the female, you're going to hell, first of all, but secondly, you're breaking the POG, which is more important. I'm joking about it, but the no dating policy is like, that's kind of silly. For one reason, it's never been followed.
It's high school.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure me, Duncan Walla, someone who was like, I'm just not going to date in high school, yeah, I'm just not going to do it, didn't affect me much because I was like, I'm not going to be dating. However, the effects, like the side effects of the POG, being that there are no school dances, for instance.
Wait, seriously?
It's like Footloose.
That's amazing.
I don't know why I'm sinning by dancing, but apparently Christ is upset with me.
I did not know Footloose actually existed.
It does exist.
That's
crazy. Now, there is one school dance a year, to give them credit. It's called Formal, where only the juniors and seniors can go. And they can't bring dates.
I enjoy how it's just called Formal. It's not prom, it's not homecoming, it's just formal.
Yeah, it's a little uppity.
Everyone just stands there and like just kind of like cool poses and just.
Well, no, because the thing is, it leads to men and women being incredibly awkward around each other, and to like the one theater guy and the people who break the pog being the only ones who are like comfortable with each other, which is hilarious. Because I'm the one theater guy.
Yeah. I would love to come to that and just watch the awkwardness just spread.
Well, because we feed off of it. Truly,
Yeah.
we are leeches upon the awkwardness of teenagers.
It's great.
No, TikTok is just an endless source of cringe, and I love it. I found that TikTok will never make me laugh, but I will laugh at TikTok.
Oh yeah.
just like Christian memes. I'm showing you a couple of those.
Oh yes.
I'll post when we
laughing at them, not with them.
No, I'm laughing at them. It's like it's stupid stuff, like a sumo wrestler jumping down from the top ropes, and like a little person getting crushed by the sumo wrestler, and the caption is "The love of Christ, me." It's like. It's really bad. Like, it's just not funny. But to the point I'm making about dress codes, the POG had a section on the dress code. And for on the girls' side, it was like, okay, no spaghetti strap bras, no belly showing, no, I better not be seeing your kneecaps. And it just goes down to things. It gets like to the Geneva Conventions where it's like you shall not like falsely surrender in war, and it's like it's just a really long list. It goes on for maybe 20-30 pages.
Good.
That's an exaggeration, but thankfully they can use those 20-30 pages to cover themselves up so that they're more modest.
Yeah.
But just in case, and on the guy's side. No Speedos. Don't be shirtless.
Dang it, there goes all my outfits.
Now, I personally was rather offended as I sexually identify as a Speedo shirtless man. But beyond the bigotry of the school...
Just wear a Speedo and then wear just shorts over it.
Oh! Why didn't I only thought about this after I left that school. Shout out to TDA. I actually really like TDA, but this part's a little funny. So we had a school retreat at the beginning of the year, and it was after we went through the dress code, and I was just chuckling because I was like, technically that means that guys can wear spaghetti strap bras.
Yeah,
it's not in the dress code. We can wear them.
That's definitely a thing that I've definitely thought about at Christmas before, because it definitely is like.
That means guys can wear short shorts.
No. One of the things they have is girls can wear plaid like skirts, and I'm just like, this means I can wear a kilt.
Wait, girls can't wear plaid skirts? Oh, okay.
They can't.
Like,
girls,
what?
It specifically states that you can wear that, and I need to check to see if the thing actually specifies girls, because if it doesn't, I can wear a kilt. And just show up.
Well, Christ Prep has a bit more of a uniform, right?
No, yeah, they have a uniform.
Yeah.
It's definitely like it used to be khakis or plaid skirts and then polo.
Yeah.
It's gone down to like you can wear jeans now, as long as they're like darker here. Actually, you could always wear dress pants, but no one actually did that because.
Oh, you guys are teenagers, not accountants.
See, I actually did, because I have these great dress pants that are made out of this fun like material. So where it's basically they're sweatpants, but they look like dress pants.
Oh, yeah,
so they're really
I got
comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
So I've worn those.
But what happened is at this retreat is I dressed up in like a size like a C cup something. Came in a crop top, a tutu, very short shorts. I was wearing everything that I shouldn't wear. And so I came in and I was dressed up as this, because here's the thing. Not only do I not care if I was cross dressing because I'm confident in my sexuality. Mm-hmm. Period. But also, it was hilarious because they had no rules about this. Nobody had been clever enough to be like, wait a second, this dress code is stupid. This means that I can do this and you have no rules about it. So I didn't get in trouble. My friend Jack, on the other hand, who we could see his cheeks. He was wearing like a maternity gown. We could see the cheeks, but if he bent down, it was a lot being revealed there. So now there have been dress code things added, like no Speedos, no being shirtless, no tank tops that show the nipple, no sagging,
So tank tops
and
that do show them.
that do.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the bro tanks are fine, but
What was the last one?
and the final one is and no cross dressing.
Yeah.
So I've won.
Private Christian school did not think about putting no cross-dressing in their.
They did not. I
They
won.
never thought anyone would do it.
I won.
You won.
I win. I take the victory.
It's completely accurate.
Yeah.
You
Shout out to
have
purity
won.
culture.
Dude.
Shout out. Man, we should have purity culture as a guest.
As a guest, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would we have on for that?
I don't know.
Because you laugh at it, I'm generally semi-neutral towards it, so we just have to have someone who's super into purity culture on.
We just need to find. We just need to go to the nearest women's Bible study
Yes.
and find a 50 to 40-year-old Karen.
Yes. I was gonna make a joke about our women's Bible study here, but then I realized I probably shouldn't say that on the podcast.
Why would you do that? No, Journey Women's Bible Study. Shout out to Journey Women's Bible Study.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's great when they're not
Now we need to say some good things about your
some
church.
good thing. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Drawing a blank here?
Awkward drawing of blank. No, I can talk about actually the mission trip I've gone on because they do
Oh, that's cute.
yearly mission trips
That's
to
cute.
Panama because we have some missionaries down there that we help. We help all sorts of towns we go back to. It's super fun. But the missionary down there, he's the coolest dude you will ever meet. His name is Vince. He is bald with the goatee with a little bit of the point on the end of the mustache.
Yeah.
He
Training in the mountains for many years.
Yeah, he lives on top of a mountain in a big house.
Okay,
He's
that's what I'm talking about.
jacked, more defined. It's not even just okay, he's ripped, but he is super defined, just
Yeah, if he
muscle.
flexes too hard, the veins pop.
No, the veins pop when he's not flexing.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's like that, and it's just it just looks like this, that it's so defined, and
You
then,
can't see on the podcast,
see,
but
but-
Jackson is currentally flexing, and it's almost like what I imagine.
No, it's no close. And it's just completely defined, ripped, and he actually loves telling stories, likes all the stuff, but
He also loves crushing the skulls of the
has a-
apostates.
he has a machete on him at most times. We
this
had to
is
go
a
on these
man.
boats down this river, and we're like, if we ever crash or get stuck on the side, we're gonna be alive because he's with us.
Yeah, Vince will just carry all 12 of you on his back.
He just climbs up a tree, grabs a coconut, throws it on the ground. This is something he actually did. He climbed a tree, got a coconut, put it on the ground, just slammed his machete into it, and then was like, "You guys want some coconut?"
See, this is a man I can get behind.
Oh yeah.
So this man does all of this, and then afterwards he says, I presume he has a voice something like this. Now you see, you can get the love of Christ out of coconut.
See, he's a Panamanian citizen now, but he used to live in I believe California. So he
Yeah, dude, you can get the love of Christ
Okay,
out of a
no,
coconut.
no. He actually vocally sounds similar to Coleman.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's just the coolest dude. And then he's and I'm the lead missionary of this area, and it's heck yeah. But I want to talk about that river we went on. So most people know,
Was it the Panama River?
most people know about the Trans Panamanian Highway that just goes all the way down to the bottom of Panama.
Yeah.
So we are in the town where that road ends,
Nice.
and there is nothing but a couple 100 miles of jungle, and then Colombia. The only way to get through this jungle into the towns in there is by boat if the tide is correct, horse, and helicopter.
My three favorite means of travel.
There are no way for vehicles to get through there. And so we go out and we're on the boats and we're going to these towns, and they're effectively just big log canoes with a motor on the end.
That's what I'm talking
Heck yeah,
about.
go flying over this completely dirty river. It was actually a lot of fun. It was really beautiful, all of the trees.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
of course.
And we get to towards the end of the day, and it's 3 hours back on the boat at this point, which it definitely didn't feel like it took 3 hours. It felt like it was maybe one, because we were singing famous songs the entire way back, and it was hilarious. But it was probably about 4 o'clock, and they're like, "All right, everyone, get to the boats. Go, go, go. We got to get back by 7."
We can't leave anyone behind.
Why do we have to get back by 7? They're like, "Oh, well, 7 is about when the sun sets." And this is like, because this is the river that goes straight to Colombia, this is like the big drug trade river.
Oh, nice.
So we're like, you're like, oh,
Nice.
So we are on the, and we're like, oh.
I didn't even think about that until you said it.
And we're like, oh, so all those little like cutout alcoves we saw that kind of looked like there was a path in there in the river. Oh, like, yep, get in the boats. This is where there's a lot of drugs coming through here. That we had to go through, like, we didn't even think about it. It was like we went through like some like 2 or 3 military checkpoints. Like, just like pulled our boats up, walked up, was like, hey man, how's it going? And the Vince guy is friends with all of them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's just like, hey man, how's it going? I just have to and he bought us like fried like fruit and stuff, and it was like twice fried papaya or something.
Twice.
And it was
what we should have named the podcast.
Twice fried papaya. And we get in and we're just like, and we start like zooming back. We're like, and we were on the way there. We were going at like the same speed, staying together.
Picked up what, like 2-3 kilos of heroin?
Yes.
On this mission trip.
Yeah. So, but on the way back, on the way there and the way back, I was in the smaller boat, and me and a bunch of my friends were in like the smaller boat, and then there was the bigger boat, and we could double their speed. We went the same speed of them as the way there. On the way back, we had Vince in our boat on the way there and back, and was like, heck yeah. And then there was the guy just the dude sitting in the back with the motor. He was just like, full speed. We just flew. I think the other boat went out like 10 minutes ahead of us. Probably like 30 minutes in, we just flew past them.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the comically, like whenever like the motor is the only thing inside the water, everything else is like straight up in the air, like
pretty much. And we were all just holding on like, heck yeah, as we're flying through.
It was a mission trip. Heck yeah.
We saw some good old giant crocodiles swimming in the water.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're on the drug trade crocodile malaria river, going like solid, probably 40 miles an hour on this canoe with a motor on it.
Yeah.
This is the peak of my life. Like that was definitely my favorite day of the mission trip.
And whenever the crocodile saw Vince, they ran away.
Pretty much, yeah.
Every time a mosquito tried to bite him with malaria, it died.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. I've not gone on like big mission trips like that, but I've gone like to Hawaii for YWAM stuff, which was neat.
Yeah.
Good pilgrimage of the soul.
It was so I've only gone on 2 mission trips. They're both to Panama because their church doesn't allow. They always have a family one, which is like you get to stay in the 5-star hotel, drive like 30 minutes to this town, and when I was there, was it like 3 years ago, probably maybe 4. We ran like a VBS. Like,
oh, that's cute.
For all the little kids, and it was fun. And one of the guys we had with us, his name was I think it was Johnny, yeah, and he's like the most like millennial dude. Like he always wore flannel and like a cap and jeans, but he knew
in the depths of Panama.
Yeah, but he was our he did. He was the guy in charge of the music for the VBS because he's like really good with the guitar. But he just knew how to sing in Spanish. Anyway.
What a delightful lad.
So it was like, oh, well, this is nice. So yeah, that was fun. And the second time when we went there was like the actual youth one. When we went out to the towns, we went to this one when we had to set up for a youth conference they were going to have. So we painted. We laid down the foundation for the painting and then painted over 2 days 2 whole buildings. Which, like, these are, like, the Panama outdoor buildings, so it's pretty much just squares with square concrete things, so it's not like we had to paint a bunch of rooms. But it was actually fun, and then we went out after those 2 days to the villages on the boat, then came back, and the next 2 days we participated in the youth conference.
That's nice.
But the best, probably besides the boats, the best experience was going to and from that city at the end of the Panama Road, because we went there from Panama City, and it's like a 6-hour drive. But nice. We're in this big, huge bus that can fit all of us. It was like 26 people. This bus can fit all of us. Long black bus. And it's going in. We're on these like windy forest roads. Like every once in a while there should be like a turn like that or a pothole or something.
Yeah, not a road for a big bus.
Not what I mean. It was straight most of the time, but a couple times there were like bigger curves.
Like you and me.
Yeah. Oh. And then it was and there were definitely some, but it was going a solid 75 miles an hour. Like, you know the Knight bus scene from Harry Potter?
Yeah,
it was pretty much that. Like, we're just flying down this road, and we'd hit, like, a turn. He does not slow down. We swear, like, oh, the bus is about to go sideways, because we all of us physically shift over this direction with the bus, and then whoosh, back to going straight. And we're just,
now I'm just remembering that scene. That's a really good scene.
yeah. And it was like, oh, dear mercy, we're gonna die. And it was so much fun, because we were trying to, like, sit there and, like, have conversations and, like, listen to music, and we just suddenly just go
You have to tie yourselves to the seats.
yeah,
You don't go flying out the window.
It was great, because, like, there were a couple people because this is how Panama works. We picked up, like, 2 or 3 just strangers when we, like, stopped for lunch. They're just like, hey,
fun.
can we get a ride back to Panama City? Like, yeah. And then at one point we stopped and one of them got off and stuff. But because we didn't have seats, those 3 people were just standing up the entire ride on, like, those turns. They're just standing there like
Yeah, you did the same thing on the Colombian River. So just a couple people needed a ride with their unmarked bags.
unmarked bags, yes.
Yeah. I was gonna actually go on a missions trip to Haiti
Oh yeah.
until COVID.
Oh yeah.
COVID prevented me from spreading the love of Christ.
Yep. That's.
I say that cynically, but I was actually really excited to go to Haiti because with my experience at YWAM, there was always 2 types of people. The people going because it was a vacation, and the people going because they truly wanted to grow as a person.
Yeah.
Right? And sadly, the people going because vacation with friends vastly outnumbered the people going there for sincere, like, growth reasons.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is what it is. It's the same thing with, like, you can find that wherever you go. But with Haiti, it kind of balanced it out because very few people would want to go to Haiti as a vacation. Very few people. And the people in my class, in the senior class, who wanted to, like, go to Haiti as a mission trip, not a single one of them was like, oh yeah, because it'll be fun. We're all like, no, this will be a great experience for a bunch of young people to grow and bond. And I'm like, yo, this is gonna be really cool. I can't wait to go to Haiti. Most people are getting terrified at, like, the size of spiders and the regularity of, like, different diseases, and I'm like, life is life.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, life is life. If I have to eat a tarantula, so be it.
Yeah.
I actually found out that tarantulas aren't kosher, so unfortunate. But I was really excited for it. But then COVID hit, and then Haiti had, like, we were already unlikely to end up going.
Yeah.
Because Haiti was, like, in the process of having a civil war.
Okay.
Like they were like, yo, we're gonna have a civil war.
We are going to.
It's gonna happen, and then COVID hit, and whoops, I guess we're not going to Haiti.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah. I would have liked to try some of the weirder things because I like the, like, twice fried papaya.
Twice fried papaya.
Yes.
Twice fried.
But they had we were being fed by the people we were setting up the youth ministry for, and they had a lot of different, like, eggs and meat and all that type of stuff, and all of it
unmarked eggs and meat.
There was like lamb and stuff, and, like, none of it was bad. There was the one issue is they always cooked it all together in this big old pot. They cooked everything together, and, like, and they fry some stuff separately and stuff. But that means every single day, the meat, the vegetables, and, like, whatever else they had on there, all pretty much tasted the exact same because it was like a vegetable fry, and it was pretty much always the same, like, chopped up, like, veggies. So it pretty much all just tasted the same every single day. Like, even the eggs had it on there.
Huh. I mean, see, me as a person, I always prefer bland over complicated.
Yeah.
That mostly because it's like, if it's complicated, it could be bad. But if it's bland and still tastes good, why would I need to make it complicated?
Yeah.
I'm a pure efficiency man when it comes to food.
Yes.
How can I get the most food that tastes good? Just gonna tell you, bang for your buck, go for Indian food. That's most flavor per food given. All right. Now, you can make some counter arguments to that. Like, you could also say wings at Buffalo Wild Wings on Thursday nights. So much food for so much flavor, but it all has the same flavor. Like, there are many ways you can go about this. Like, I personally am quite the connoisseur of it, which is why I love Food Theory.
Yeah.
It's a great channel, amazing channel.
Literally, their first video is, of these 4 restaurants, how can you get the most money?
Yeah, the most
fries for your money. And,
and in all honesty, it's definitely Five Guys. Right? My Five Guys has to be the one that you get the most fry for your buck.
Yeah, Five Guys has so many fries. The only other thing that I actually kind of chuckled at when
Shout out to the extra R you added there.
Yeah.
You said Five Guys.
Fry.
Yeah, it's Five Guys.
So, I kind of chuckled watching the video because he was talking about how the McDonald's small one, you got so much because it was a paper bag. And that's exactly what we have at Culver's, is we have all paper bags for all sizes. And I was just like, yes.
Well, little did you know, not only can you listen to the Perfectly Average Guys podcast, but Culver's.
Yeah, and also, hey, I can keep shilling for it. Every single time there's fries, there's the bag full, and then there's a bunch of extra ones that are like laying on your tray.
As you should.
As it should be, yeah.
I think that truly is the family-friendly Culver's motto, is give more fries than necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, they are not customers, they're guests. For anyone who doesn't
me.
know why I'm shilling for this so much, I do work at Culver's.
He does in fact work at Culver's.
Yes.
It's canonical.
We talked about this on the second one with James, but I'm
He works at Culver's. See, I work at much less family-friendly UPS.
How family friendly is that?
So let me tell you something. If somebody is upset at you, you will hear it in all the colors of the wind. All right, they have some very flavorful speech, to the point of I've heard some new things. My eyes have been opened. My eighth chakra has been unlocked.
So my usual scale is on a scale from like women's Bible study to IP guys dressing room. But I guess after IP's guys dressing room, slightly above that is
UPS on a bad day.
UPS on a bad day.
Yeah, because they just put the F word in places where it doesn't fit. Right? It's just like, hey, we need to be having a word at every possible second. So the F word is going to fill in for where we can't actually get communication across. It's truly an amazing tactic. It's like a rushdown tactic, It's like Tracer in Overwatch. Like, get up there, kill it, run away. That's what it is. How much can we get? Bam, 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 bam. I was like, I just got Pulp Fictioned.
Oof.
Well, the thing is, my managers like me.
Pulp Fiction with less N-word. Hopefully.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
But the greatest part of it is that my managers all actually like me.
Yeah.
Because I work very hard. Mm-hmm. And I don't talk that much at work because I know better.
Oh, boy. Give us 1 second with Jerry.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to continue talking. But my managers all like me because I work. Is that good, Jerry? Yeah, because I work hard. And beyond me working hard, I don't talk much. I don't talk back. I'm just obedient. I do what they say. And they're like, wow, this guy's a really nice person.
Whoa.
And they got me promoted in like under a month, which is nice. I'm now making $5 more than I did.
That's great.
I'm a big fan of it.
My promotion went from minimum wage to $8.15. So
hey, give me a high five here.
Woo.
Also, no offense, Culver's is a much less physically taxing job.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But I just lifted a bunch of packages, and then now, so they don't yell at the hourly help.
Yeah.
Because the hourly help just leaves, all right? They don't stay there, like, at all.
Yeah.
The people, because the turnover rate in UPS is something hilarious. Like, I was, in my first week of training, our trainer was like, yeah, how many people have we hired in the last couple weeks? And the plant manager was like, oh, you must be on what, like 60, 70? We're like, how many of them are still here? And then the boss, Jordan, laughed and was like, I think 5.
Oh boy.
Hired 60 people, 5 still remained. And of those 5, I'm pretty sure that, like, of my class of 15, I'm the only one. Me and a girl named Angela, who needs the job. Only ones from that class.
Dang.
It's kind of great. It's great. So the hourly help just leaves, so the managers and the supervisors don't yell at them.
Yeah.
So instead, they need to yell at each other all the time, and it's like watching a sitcom, man. I love it so much, because it's like not watching a sitcom. It's like watching a TLC show where you just watch it to see people get angry at each other. It's pure entertainment. It makes lifting packages all the better.
I get to lift packages and watch people just completely yell at each other.
It's so nice. I mean, I as a connoisseur of trash content, I'm also a connoisseur of trash people.
Oh, yes.
All right? And I enjoy it so much.
There's very minimal yelling at Culver's, and I kind of like that in the environment. But the fun only time there was yelling, and it wasn't even yelling. It was just a threat to murder someone. Was none of the like pure like older managers were around, so it was just all of our managers that are in like their mid-20s, and it was a solid like 4 o'clock, and there was nobody there. And one of the guys, Tyler
House or Tyler not House?
Tyler, who isn't House.
Okay.
Who's hilarious, dude. Takes one of our numbers and just like this goes, watch this, like backhands it towards the drive-through, and like tells one of the guys to catch it. Misses. This is after 5 minutes. He had a different number, and he was in front of me, and he was trying to flip it and have it land like upright. So I tried for like 5 minutes. And
By numbers, you mean the little indicators of what order you have for
flips it,
dining.
It lands. After 5 minutes, it lands. He goes, first try, and then he does this backhand, and it does not go towards the drive-through. It goes over our customer machine, and almost hits our manager Kat in the head.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
And she does have a mouth, and it's very funny. Because she'll cuss them like, crap, I'm not allowed to cuss around kids. And then,
hate when that happens.
And so it almost hit her head. She goes, Tyler, I'm going to murder you. And then he was just like, oh, and he like strolled over, grabbed the number, and like did like the awkward like quick walk towards where the number was supposed to go and sit it down. It was like, oops.
Oh, shout out to Tyler. Shout out.
Tyler.
Man, all right. So, we talked about some things for about 40 minutes. Jackson,
Yes.
do you have any topics in mind?
Topics in mind? I don't know. Food theory is
I'm still riveted. I'm still riveted by food theory.
I can just like Google like gaming news.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, San Diego Comic-Con is going on online. They're having like watch sessions with things with like things, but they're having like Marvel people, DC people on there, all sorts of stuff, and you can actually like watch it. I don't know if it's live. Oh, that's something I was gonna ask you about. Smite. You've heard of Smite, correct?
Yeah, they put some people on it, right?
Yeah, the Avatar: The Last Airbender skins.
Yeah.
For some of their characters.
I mean, I'm still not into MOBAs, but
Yeah, no.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I was not expecting that, and I saw the little trailer for it, and I was like, well, that's interesting. You know, why are gaming news sites just honestly
They're all the
worst
worst.
thing?
All right, I just looked up 10 podcast topics.
Oh, yes.
All right, first one, number 10, food with a watermelon emoji. We already covered that. Questions and myth busting.
Dude.
I don't know if that's a topic. Topic 8, feminism.
Feminism. All right.
Topic 7, the paranormal.
Paranormal. Okay.
Do you believe in boo, did I scare you? No, darn. Okay, this is a good article.
Paranormal activity.
Sports. You know, you and I, we're pretty into balls.
Guys, listen, my favorite Super Bowl was the Atlanta Braves versus the Houston Rockets.
I did not get that
Bowl
joke.
of all time.
TV shows, books, and I actually started watching a TV show.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called A Million Little Things. It has actor James Roday in it.
Yes, that show.
You know, the guy who plays Sean Spencer. Yeah. A really compelling show.
Is it? Yeah, isn't that the one where it's like the tearjerker type one? Or...
It's an instantly compelling tearjerker.
Yeah.
James Roday plays a character. He's a male man who has breast cancer, right? And he's incredibly nihilistic.
Yeah.
Right. The whole point, like, he just makes nothing but dark jokes the entire time, and he's still funny because he's James Roday, and James Roday has such good timing.
Yeah.
And he sells every joke that he does.
Oh yeah.
And beyond his commitment to the dark jokes, it's really sad because it's a whole group of friends, and they're all complex to the point of, like, they're a group of 4 friends. One of them commits suicide, but the one who commits suicide isn't like the sad one all the time. Mm-hmm. The one who has breast cancer.
Yeah.
It's the one who's the happy leader and has always been positive.
Yeah.
Right. And then another character is suffering with depression and was only didn't kill himself because he got called by Sean Spencer. I mean, excuse me, James Roday's character.
Yeah.
and told him that their other best friend had committed suicide. So by telling him that, it prevented it, which is like whack.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, Eddie, is a former rock star who's cheating on his wife with the wife of their now dead friend.
Oh boy.
And has been for a long time. So it's a real cluster, right? And James Roday is dating this girl he found in therapy, right?
Yeah.
In like breast cancer therapy.
Yeah.
And this girl she doesn't want to seek treatment for anything.
Yeah.
So she's just steadily spiraling out of control because she doesn't want to seek treatment. She doesn't want to talk about her life. She just wants to live and have fun and then die.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a really good set of episodes. I've only watched like the first 4, but man,
I heard that show was really good.
It might be one of the few dramas I've liked in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm the jury is still out because I've yet to finish it.
Yeah.
And there are moments where I just wish that they would stick to some more like values that they're obviously portraying.
Yeah.
Because there are times when they could easily say like, hey, marriage is flawed and doesn't always work, but it's still worth it.
Yeah.
They point out the flaws and they imply that it's worth it, but they don't say it.
Yeah.
And it's very like there's certain values that I wish were,
which it might be more nihilistic if they like push that maybe it's not worth it at some point. Like,
yeah, I don't know, because if it's just like a life is meaningless but be happy, I mean I understand that's still a really heartfelt message. It's just not one that I think is deep enough.
Yeah.
Because
that's really interesting if the show is deeper than the message. Like,
yeah. Because if the message is just that, hey, it's because even the premise of the name is that friendship isn't any one thing; it's a million little things. Mm-hmm. Which, that's just gorgeous. That's a gorgeous phrase. And I think that even you and I in our friendship, and as it will grow, and any relationship that we have with other people, it's so true.
A million little things are keeping me awake.
Yeah. Aw, that was cute.
There's the reference.
There's the tearjerker. So if next time that you think about friendship, think about Hugh Jackman being auto-tuned for a song.
Think about hey, he was less auto-tuned than pretty much everyone else in that.
That's a fact because Hugh Jackman's
can
great.
Actually, sing pretty well.
He's a very talented man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested because I actually haven't asked your opinions on this, and I don't even know if you've watched it. Once Upon a Time.
Oh, the first season's all right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a more interesting. I definitely like it because I like it when I like the old fairy tale stuff, and I like it when people can like make them different, and that's definitely because Disney makes them different by making them kid friendly. Once Upon a Time makes it different by making it just bonkers, and I really appreciated that for a while, and then it started to go downhill. I think
what's the witch's name? Regina.
Regina, yeah.
Regina is, I think, the most compelling character in the first season.
Yeah, she's super compelling.
Right. I think that she's the best. Who's the chick? She plays Cameron in House MD. But she also plays the main character in Once Upon a Time.
I don't know her name. The character's
blonde,
name is
the
Emma.
blonde.
The character's name is Emma, but Emma Swan,
okay.
But I don't remember.
Emma Swan is also pretty good. And what's the name of the son?
Henry.
I like those 3 characters a lot.
Yeah, no, they're very.
I like those 3 characters. I think that those 3 characters do a good job, especially in the first season.
Yeah.
After the first season, because I don't like it when you set up a gimmick and the gimmick is good and entertaining.
Yeah.
And then to make more of this one piece of media, you screw the gimmick and just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I hate it whenever they do it. Because like the gimmick of the mist and stuff.
Yeah.
The gimmick of we're stuck in Fairy Tale Town. We can't leave Fairy Tale Town.
Yeah.
After the first season, no, you can. The mist leaves and it's like, oh, so it's solved. So that should be the end of the story.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't remember that they could leave the town. I thought they still couldn't. Like one of the dwarves got turned to a tree or something.
Yeah, they still couldn't leave the town, but everyone knew that they were fairy tale characters.
Yes.
Which, man, I didn't like. I didn't like that. I like the gimmick. I like the setup for it. It's the same reason why I don't like the second and third Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Because if you set up this interesting mechanic that is it leads to a good story, and you have some good characters. Know when to cut it quits.
Yeah.
Something that two of my favorite shows of all time, Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, do so well is that they end.
Yeah.
They end. They end at the perfect time.
Here's my thing. Here's when it should have ended. I believe it's at the end of season 3 is I think when it should have ended. The only thing they didn't quite wrap up Emma, and then one of my favorite characters they've introduced, Captain Hook.
I heard he was hot.
He was
That's what I heard. That's what I heard from my theater
hot.
friends.
He's kind of becomes the more comedic guy, but he's pretty funny. His story with and then a lot happens in these shows, so I'm trying to remember which one. But Rumpelstiltskin gets a lot more compelling.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He was already just a great character,
good.
and then he gets more compelling with the story of I can spoil it because no one cares if you haven't watched it. Yeah. His dad is actually Peter Pan.
Oh, that's whack.
It's pretty whack. But then, what happened is his dad actually like abandoned their family to become Peter Pan and like stay young forever and all of that. And then
Peter Pan is supposed to be a villain, right?
Yes, he's a villain, and he's like the worst person. And the Lost Boys like murder people at that point because they actually do get dragged to Neverland, and it kind of becomes like a survival type thing.
I decently like that. No, here's why I really like that, because the book Peter Pan is a great fairy tale in every aspect of the word great fairy tale or the words great fairy tale, in that you have the main character who sets up a problem that all people face, which is you have to grow up.
Yeah.
Everyone, you and I, who are currently in the midst of growing up, we can't fight it. We're gonna have to grow up. We're gonna have to face responsibility. Go out. We can't just sit with Tinkerbell, which is the porn fairy. I kid you not. In the book, that's what she is. We need to grow up because we find an actual woman and like, yep, time to be a man.
Yeah.
And it's set up with Captain Hook, who is an old man who's literally fighting time.
Yeah.
Right? Fighting time, which is a crocodile with a clock in its mouth.
Yeah.
Constantly following him. If that's not fighting the time and death, what is?
Yeah.
So you have a tyrannical person trying to stay up and a naive, annoying boy.
Yeah.
A little kid trying to fight time.
Yeah.
And both of them are miserable. And both of them are fixed by someone who's within time. So to put up the people shirking off responsibility who are refusing to grow up, them being villains makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I think that's actually quite compelling.
Yeah, and the way they actually set up him as a villain that I think is really interesting is they show you how he gets the Lost Boys. And because if anyone tries to leave, he just kills them. Like, tries to leave.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But how he keeps getting new Lost Boys and just Lost Children is his other, because most of the characters have other identities from other fairy tales.
Yeah.
He is also the Pied Piper. and that's how he gets, because he plays a tune and only the kids can hear it, and it's like kids will go missing.
That's kind of clever.
Yeah, and I like that in his whole story of actually, like, it's really interesting because even though Peter Pan's still supposed to be this young boy, he's still like played like a 19, like he still like seems more like a teenager.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing with Rumpelstiltskin still loving him, but having to like do all of this.
Yeah.
And the ending of that season is really great. That is one of my favorite stories in it. And Hook and Emma are actually like a very cute couple. The only thing is if they had ended it at season 3, they wouldn't have fully developed their relationship, but I would have been fine with that if they'd ended it at season 3. Was it season 4? It was one of them.
Yeah.
But when the season ended with this urn opening up and a hand shooting out and blasting it with ice and exploding it, and it was Elsa, and everyone knew it was Elsa, that's when it started to go downhill.
As per usual, Frozen ruined it.
And while actually, then the next season after that one, if I remember correctly, was really janky because Emma became the Dark One. Because at that point, like the whole Rumpelstiltskin title thing that he has.
Yeah.
Because at that point, oh no, I think Elsa came after that one. So what? Yes, the Elsa season was after that one. So ending of season 3, Rumpelstiltskin actually.
You're doing the thing where we're explaining a TV show to me, and you just lost me at Emma becomes Rumpelstiltskin.
She's not Rumpelstiltskin. She is the dark one. She's still technically Emma, and they end up like saving her.
The technicality. Nope, I'm lost.
It doesn't matter.
It should have ended at season 1. It would have been good.
Yeah, I still think it should have ended at season 3 because I liked it up to that point.
Yeah.
And then it was.
I will say the CGI in season 1 is it's comically bad.
Oh, it's comically bad.
It's very bad. I was a fan of it personally.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna talk about TV shows that don't suck, you're on like what, episode 15 of Avatar?
I'm somewhere, I don't remember.
Yeah, you just watched The Blue Spirit and The Storm, which I'm very proud of you. Very proud.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Once Upon a Time is even if it didn't end there, they had.
We're back onto bad TV shows.
No, I know. I need to finish this. They have this ending. It's like, okay, Emma's married Hook. I think that's how like everyone kind of gets their happily ever after type thing.
Yeah.
Good ending to a TV show. It's like, okay, yeah, it's finally over. People had talked about it ending. They talked about because the Emma girl was leaving the show. So it's like, okay.
Excuse me.
I was like, okay, she's leaving the show. The show's gonna end. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Does it continue after her?
There's this fun little ending thing where you see this little girl with a fairy tale book getting on a bus and driving to a bus, and she knocks on a door, and it's pretty much shot for shot the beginning of episode 1 when Henry's going to find Emma, right? So I'm like, where the frick is this going? Because there's this little girl with a fairy tale book. There's the door, and adult Henry opens the door and is like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm your child."
That's great.
Da 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 da. And then
it's like a cycle of a fairy tale being told.
Ends you, and then it ends it right there. And then I think the next, and then I didn't watch it after that because I didn't care.
Oh, it continues. The show continues.
Yes, the show continues. It was like a weird soft reboot because they have these characters like Cinderella, Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, who were like really minor characters at the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
They have them like back and played by different actresses at like different ages and stuff. And it's like Regina's still there and she's like older, but I literally have no idea what the plot is or how they continue that because I'm like, there's no way Henry doesn't remember all of that unless he got like brain blasted or something.
Brain blast, Jimmy Neutron.
And it's just like, I thought the thing is, I would have been fine if they had ended it there, and I'd be like,
that would be interesting.
That'd be really interesting, and compelling. But then they kept going in like more seasons of it. Like, no. I honestly think they just had the one season of it after that, and it was so bad that they quit.
Yeah. Now, you will eventually watch Cowboy Bebop because I think it's Avatar is the best original work in my opinion, but Cowboy Bebop, it's a symphony, man. It is pure art. And I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is so easy to be enjoyed by anyone.
Yeah.
So I still think it's the best TV show. But if you're going for like trying to comprehend a beautiful piece of art, Cowboy Bebop is that.
Yeah.
Like Cowboy Bebop started lo-fi, for instance.
Yeah.
Which is huge right now. And you go through Cowboy Bebop, it ends so perfectly. And this won't be much of a spoiler, but the way that it ends is that the main character dies.
Yeah.
Right? Or does he?
Or does he?
You don't know.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is that it's a bunch of space bounty hunters in one ship going on bounties.
Yep.
And there's not a story. It's just these people living, going through things, and you could do that forever. Yeah. Literally forever.
That kind of sounds like very similar to what Mandalorian is kind of doing.
Yeah, well, Mandalorian's a Western, right?
Yeah.
So Cowboy Bebop is a sci-fi Western noir.
Yeah.
It's also anime.
Yeah.
So it's 4 genres in one. And it does it so perfectly. I want you to watch it because, man, does it just ooze style.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere it goes. The reason why I like JoJo's is because it has that aesthetic that is so entertaining.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop has that aesthetic with a good story, with good dialogue, with good everything.
Ah.
It also has one of the best opening intros ever called Tank, and that's just...
I think I've seen it, yeah.
But I think that if more shows knew how to end and where to end,
yeah,
they just get so much better. For instance, Arrow. every CW show actually.
Yeah.
If they just knew to end it here, let's make a story and finish the story.
Yeah.
Let's not just do Monster of the Week. What are we going to do next episode?
Yeah.
Who knows? Let's go down to the writing board. No. Have a story. Every episode matters. Every episode is we're trying something new, but we're doing something with it.
Yeah.
That would be better.
If Arrow had ended season 5, I think that would have been...
If Arrow had ended season 5 and you cut out season 3 and 4. Season 3 and 4 are very bad. Very bad in my estimation. It's Damien Dark. Yeah.
Who is much more interesting in all the other shows he's in. Because here's the thing. His, like, kind of cocky, over-the-top, like, dark, like, wit type doesn't fit the best in Arrow.
Nope.
You stick him in Legends of Tomorrow, where he's with completely...
Ubarthon and Merlin.
Completely serious Reverse Flash, and then Merlin... And then they start getting like even, and then give them that little bit of self-awareness that it has where Damien Dark like has this whole thing, and Merlin just looks at him and goes, "That was a good villain speech." He's like, "Oh, thank you very much." Like
that was in the trailers and it was funny.
Yeah.
But
that's when Arrow, and I think it's good, and I think how. I didn't watch the last season, and then I watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, so I was a little confused.
Yeah, I watched season 5, which was really good.
Oh yeah.
It was back to why Arrow was. It was back to why Arrow was done well, and you can tell from the opening fight scene of episode 1 of that season.
Yeah.
Which it was a. It felt like a Ghost in the Shell fight scene.
Yeah.
Right? Because it had like neon on the background and just the shadows fighting.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is like that sort of ingenuitive TV fight scene.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm a fan of this.
Yeah.
And the whole season was good. And it was tragic. It was back to being why we liked Arrow, which was because Arrow was Batman. I'm anarchy, but that he was in there.
Oh yeah, no.
But they ignored a lot of things. They somehow made Felicity not suck. Somehow.
Yeah.
She did not suck in the context of that season.
Yeah.
She was still a bad person, and we didn't like her, but she was not poorly written.
Yes.
Now, I like that entire season. What was I do actually forget the name of the villain. Prometheus, yeah. Another archer.
And then also the guy at the beginning is Church, right?
Yep.
Church, and then it's like, oh, that's going to be the main bad guy. And then it's like, no. Psych out.
It's another counter marksman.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was good.
With, like,
but in all honesty,
shurikens.
that while yes, that was a good season, there are certain elements of it that rely on seasons 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And I want to cut those seasons out. I think Arrow should have ended at season 2 with Deathstroke.
Yeah.
I think that not Joe Manganiello, he's playing it in the DCEU.
Yeah.
Who's the actor? The Aussie.
I don't remember.
It's so good.
Oh yeah, no.
He does such an amazing job the entire way through, and Speedy is acted very well.
Oh yeah.
Now I like everything about season 2.
Yeah, no.
I think that it should have ended there, and it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
We would have been left asking, we want more.
We want more, yes.
Right, and that's where you want a TV show to end.
Yeah.
You want every TV show to be, I want more.
Yeah.
But it ended so well.
Yeah.
It would have ended so well.
What I like how Arrow like came to a collision with the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Never watched it.
Yeah.
CW lost my interest after The Thinker.
Oh yeah, that's the worst season of Flash.
Yeah.
This actual new season, which I have not watched a lot of. I watched the first couple episodes. And it actually also kind of felt like how season 5 was for Arrow, where it went back after like The Thinker was just like, what am I watching? It went back to like kind of that season 1 Flash.
Did they finally do Grodd?
They've done Grodd a lot.
They've done Grodd, but they didn't do a whole. Grodd is one of Flash's biggest villains.
Yeah, they had.
He deserves his whole season. He's great.
They had. I think one of the most recent episodes they did with Grodd was. I watched it in a CGI artist react because sometimes it looks really good and sometimes it looks really bad.
Yeah, well, it's made for a TV show. You gotta expect it to be
Gorilla
choppy.
Grodd, and like half of the episode was just a big fight scene with him versus King Shark.
That's awesome.
And it was just them like them tearing through buildings.
I want to watch that.
Like that. I'm like, that'd be cool.
That's actually a pretty neat idea, just to make a whole kaiju fight episode.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like TV doing. I like TV shows doing that.
And I liked they did have I think I don't remember when, but they did have a whole going to Gorilla City when Grodd had taken over.
Okay.
That was like
so they have done some more Grodd things.
It was
because
it was
they hinted at him in season 1, and I'm like,
Yeah.
come on. Gorilla Grodd is such a fun villain.
No, he's super fun. They do him a little bit in season 1. Season 2 is when they have the Earth 2 type thing, and that's when he's taken over Gorilla City and stuff.
All right.
And because they already had kicked him over.
I remember that. I remember that.
And that was I like that. I enjoyed it. And Grodd is always one of the characters like, yeah, we can bring him back and have a good episode.
Right.
And then but this new season of Flash, they've done a couple characters that I like. There's I don't remember his name, but
Have they done Impulse? Impulse is one of Flash's sidekicks.
They haven't done Impulse yet, but Impulse would be
He's so good. He's so good in
Young Justice.
Young Justice.
The thing is, I really want to watch Young Justice season 3, but I just really don't want to pay for the DC stream.
Right? That's the only thing I'd watch on it.
The
only thing would be Young Justice season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Young Justice season 1 and 2 are hot.
Oh,
they're so hot.
I think
they're almost as good as Justice League Unlimited. All right.
The thing is, there was this one summer where I watched Young Justice, Justice League Unlimited, and then Young Justice again.
The best summer you've ever had.
Oh, it was amazing.
Man.
I loved it so much.
So Young Duncan, much like Young Justice, but no, Young Duncan. My dad had the Justice League original VHS.
Oh heck yeah.
Okay. All I'm saying is that it sparked something in me that has lit me up for the rest of my life, which is my love of heroes.
Yeah.
There's something about me seeing that so simply drawn Superman with the overly big chest punching through a building and then saying his monologue to Darkseid.
Yeah.
Right? His monologue to Darkseid being like, I walk around in a world as if it was made of cardboard. Everything I do, trying not to hurt someone, break something.
Oh yes,
someone.
I remember this.
I've never had the chance to cut loose until you. And it's just like
him.
That's why I like Superman. It's why I like superheroes. It's why I like everything. Because I think to that and I just get chills of the good guys doing good things.
When a show can be like, hey, you know how everyone's talked about how Superman and Wonder Woman make a great couple? Screw you, Batman
and Wonder Woman. Best idea ever.
And everyone is on board with it, and it works. And it's like, that's how you know a show is good. And Black Canary and Green Arrow and Justice League Unlimited, definitely not... shouldn't be in a kid's show, but that's okay.
Do you want to know the best part? I believe that inside this TV show, Batman gets the lasso of truth on him and is asked, "What's your name?" and he says, "Batman."
Yeah,
it's so
which was
good.
great.
And also on this VHS, it starts with the first side of the VHS being the episode of Justice League 1, where it's the Martian, right? And that's still to this day the creepiest thing to me. It's creepy because of nostalgia, but all of the Martians coming through and the wacky looking junk. I
forgot about that whole.
It gets me. Yeah. It gets me so much because I'm so full of my love of Batman.
Yeah,
man. I loved that VHS.
Yeah.
Not even when it was on Netflix, because I watched it like 12 times on Netflix. Yeah. That's an exaggeration. I probably only watched it like 3 times. But I was too busy watching Avatar.
Yeah.
But the thing about that VHS is that, man, I loved that VHS so much that I still liked Justice League. The movie.
Yep.
Because, man, I'm so full of love of that, of everything. Yes.
I loved that show did Flash so well. Like, Flash was great.
He's the cutest thing.
I also as a person appreciate all the little innuendos that are in there everywhere.
Yep, he does a good job.
See, the thing is, there's some funny ones in season 1.
Yep.
There's a funny one in Justice League. Then you get Justice League Unlimited, and just the entirety of Green Arrow and Black Canary is just.
Yep, it's great. It's really good.
It's honestly hilarious.
One of my favorite parts is at the end of the first series, when it's just the original 7.
Yeah.
And they're all like in some random convenience store.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we don't even know each other.
No.
And then eventually the Flash is like, okay, I'll take mine off.
Yeah.
And then Bruce takes his off. And then like, it's just an amazing moment where, because the Flash has a great line in that episode, I believe, where he says the classic, if it was an eye for an eye, well, the whole world would end up blind. And that covers the entire character of the Flash so well, in that he's the most lovable person.
Oh yeah.
The most not innocent, but one of the most forgiving people, period. And every time Grant
Which
Gustin...
is why the whole Thinker season of The Flash wasn't good, because he lost all of that quality.
No, I think that Grant Gustin season 1 to 3 had that.
Yeah. He
At
had
the
it
end of
so
season
well.
3, it was like, okay, he's been hurt for the last time, right?
Yeah.
But season 1 to 3 is so good, especially with his relationship with Iris.
Oh, it's so cute.
I think that it's done so well, because
also-
it evokes, because when I think of the Flash, I think of that one line of the Flash where, even though it's illogical, right? That's not what eye for an eye actually means in a biblical context.
Yeah.
It's what he considers it to be, that
Yeah.
I'm not going to take revenge, because, well, then the whole world would end up blind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not only am I thinking back to what Roctavia says at the end of Fiddler on the Roof, because he says that as well, but I think that is who the character of the Flash is.
Yeah.
And his powers lend into that.
Yeah.
And I personally think that the character of the Flash is far better than the powers of the Flash.
Yes.
Because it makes me happy every time I think about this lovable guy. But then, season 4, Grant Gustin is no longer the whole world would end up blind.
Yeah.
And that's why I dislike it.
Which is what he actually kind of gets back in the season 5, which is what I like. Also, they finally play Flash in the show because he's running into a black hole, and
That's great.
And Cisco turns it on because Cisco is like the greatest character.
No, he's hilarious.
He's so good, and he like turns it on, and Iris just looks at him like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I've been saving this song since day one," and he's running into a black hole. There's no better time to play it.
That's oh man.
That I knew this season was gonna be good from that first episode because they have I don't remember the character's name, but he's like he was modernized into like a vlogger, but I think he was like a newscaster guy or whatever.
Yeah.
African American guy who like his inside is a black hole.
I can't remember him.
So in the comics,
I do not read nearly as many comics
he can
as I
like
used
eat
to.
everything and like it's a black hole.
Yeah.
But in this one, the issue was his like consciousness got like, so he's like, his body's catatonic, but his consciousness is in the black hole, and then black holes keep popping up, eating things, and they're slowly getting bigger. So and a very reminiscent.
Is it like in the same style of how bad singularities were in the earlier seasons of The Flash? Because singularities were
No, it wasn't a singularity.
deal.
It was like actually like a straight up like black hole vortex type thing.
Okay.
But what was really interesting is they pretty much did just like the max version of what he did in episode 1, which is still just one of the greatest episodes of anything that's been on the CW is episode 1 of Flash.
Yeah, it's done very well.
So-
it's a little rushed, but beyond
little
that,
rushed.
it is an amazing introduction.
And he does the reverse running of the tornado and like unfoils it.
He reverse runs a black hole.
He does. They're just like, he pretty much does this. No, I actually can't remember if it's exactly
That's
what he does.
excessive. I love it.
I think he just straight up reverse runs the polarity off of the black hole. And it's like, heck yeah.
Have they done? I don't know if they've done in the CW. This is the funniest comic panel where the Flash is running on clouds, and the way that he runs on clouds is that he spins his feet together so that the ice crystals of the clouds he can run on. It's like the most pseudo-scientific, but like to a comic book reader, it's like, yeah, he's running on clouds, of course. Yeah, he's that fast.
Yeah, no, they have not had him run on clouds yet.
I love all the whack powers they give the Flash because he's that fast.
He's just yeah, he can generate lightning, he can time travel.
Yeah, because he's fast.
Okay, you want to talk about the stupid superhero powers, but this is honestly such a comic book thing that I love it, and it fits this character so well and like the type of stories he's in. John Constantine has this thing. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's basically his entire. I will find it in about 5 seconds. It is called synchronicity. Synchronicity wave traveling is one of his magical abilities. It is the magical ability to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Which is the most constant thing.
It's like
all
it's
of his
like
stories
the superpower
are
luck.
Yeah,
right.
And all of Constantine's stories are pretty much I'm in this town, and just like a week before, or just the day that I just happen to be in this town, some magical thing happens, and he has to fix it.
John Constantine truly would be the best D&D character.
Oh yeah,
right.
He would be outstanding.
Like if I were to run a solo campaign for you, I would want it to be that sort of mystic, because like that's something that you enjoy personally.
Oh yeah, no, I love that type of stuff.
Wacky, mystic, not really needing to be explained, but still drawing forth a good story from.
Which is why John Constantine's one of like my favorite comic book characters, and I'm so glad he's done well on Legends of Tomorrow because
the real reason you like it.
Oh no, it's the real reason I like it, and even just like while I could do without his like main storyline from the first season he's in.
You just gave me a look of like help.
Yeah, and then but even just like the 3 episodes he's on of Arrow, like when he's just he's on the island, he's like, here's a magic tattoo.
That's
cool. I found this
far
magic
better
thing.
than that's the best part of the Damien Dark arc.
It's just
Dark arc.
Dark arc. Yeah.
Speaking of Dark arc, everyone listening right now, as you're listening to the Perfectly Average Guys podcast, we do not shill enough on the podcast. If you're listening and you've gotten this far, we would really appreciate it if you would stop for a moment, subscribe to whatever you're subscribing to, hit the like and the ring bell, whatever. We're not on YouTube yet, but really the thing that would help us the most would be leaving a 5-star review and commenting.
Yeah, and just share it.
If share it with some friends, share it with people, put it in an email chain. Whatever can help us grow, because man, we love doing this, and if you like listening to us, the more that we get listened to, the more that we can do in forms of content.
Yeah.
So
I also enjoy how.
Thank you, Andrea, for leaving a 5-star review.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the most Perfectly Average Guys thing ever. So we're having this nice nerdy conversation, and it's like and then you instantly just go, so podcast voice, and share and like.
Yeah. This episode was sponsored by ExpressVPN.
This episode was sponsored by us.
This episode was sponsored by the Joe Biden campaign. You've seen the stuff I posted on my story.
Yes.
So for those of you who do not follow me on Instagram at Duncan.Walla or at JacksonClay03, the things that I've been posting, oh boy. So I've been having a lot of fun shilling, as I said earlier in the episode, and my favorite thing to shill has been responding to those spam texts. You won't know them, because I really enjoy messing with scammers and responding to those things as if they were real. For instance, I'm trying to go through and look at my stories.
Oh, I now have my new response to all of the private messaging sex chats that you get on Instagram.
Oh man,
I'm just responding to all of those with "Go listen to the Perfectly Average Guys."
Yep. So one of them. So everyone, every dude at the very least gets ads for things that they do not usually want. Like, I'm convinced that you got a condom ad. Because I got a condom ad last night after talking about condoms.
Wait, I have not actually. I
got
don't
one.
see ads.
I got one, and it's so frustrating. But for instance, I got on my story. I'll just pull up the photo that I took. So I got sent, "Are you real and really interested to sex with me?" And then it's
grammar.
yeah, and then it's a big HTTP link, so it's just very not safe. And then a picture of a scantily clad woman, and I responded, "No, I don't want to have sex with you. But would you be interested in listening to the hot new podcast, The Perfectly Average Guys, and leaving a 5-star review?" So that's one answer. Another one. If every text member who reads this donates $45, Prez, Trump, and Republicans will have what it takes to win in Nov. We can count on you. Donate now. And I responded, "Daddy Donnie Darling, I'll donate that and more if you listen to my podcast, The Perfectly Average Guys."
I'm going to be 100% honest. If we can get Trump to post on Twitter,
we would win. We would win.
Guys.
That's all I want. Here's another one. Reply with your zip code to stand with President Trump. I responded, "Anything for you, Donnie. My zip code is listen to the Perfectly Average Guys podcast." He didn't like that.
That's our goal though, is to get Trump to shill our podcast.
Yeah, no, I think we would win. And this is a good one. Did you see this exciting news, Duncan? Biden HQ. After Donald Trump's campaign built what seemed like an insurmountable lead in cash on hand, we've nearly climbed all the way back, shrinking the deficit by over $100 million. That's thanks to these grassroots supporters like you, Duncan. But there's still more work to do. Can you donate money?
Oh.
It just ends with "Can you donate money?" I responded with "Bitey boy." All I care about is whether or not you've listened to the hottest new sauce, the Perfectly Average Guys. Now, Biden and Donald Trump and I, we've been doing a lot. All right, we've been communicating. I'm close with them. I know them as Joe. I know him as Donald. All right, we're close like that. So that's why I can respond to him. Like this. What is your name? Duncan Walla. Thanks, Duncan. What is your zip code? Host of the Perfectly Average Guys podcast. Thank you so much, Duncan. We want to host debate watch parties across the country. Please submit your event here, and we'll follow up with more information shortly. I said, no, Uncle Joey. I want you to listen to the Perfectly Average Guys. I will host a debate watch party if you tweet out my podcast. I then actually made a debate watch party. On their site, the location, Beverly Hills, the name of it, Perfectly Average Guys, the description, instead of watching the debates, we just record a hot new episode of the Perfectly Average Guys, right?
Yeah.
It's an actual thing. I want to see if any Biden supporters come to that. Here's another good one.
The real question is, did Biden tweet out our podcast?
He did not, sadly.
Gosh dang it.
If either of them did, I'd be happy.
We would win. We'd also probably just get... The other side would try to cancel us, and that'd be really
How
funny.
dare you be...
How dare you have Trump tweet out
a shill of the Joseph Biden campaign?
Dude, can you imagine if Trump tweeted our podcast, how a couple people
Man.
that we're both thinking of would definitely just respond to that?
Yeah, they would immediately try to cancel us. And here's the thing, we would do it entirely as a joke, because if it actually happened, if Donald Trump actually tweeted it, we would
lose it.
We would have no clue what was happening. We'd be living in the weirdest timeline.
We'd be like, hold up, excuse me, what?
I'd immediately DM and I'd say, Donald, what?
Excuse?
I mean, thank you.
Dude.
I'm now immediately famous, but
I mean, yeah. But if you did that, we would have... Can you imagine just the people who just follow Trump to
yeah,
the
they would
word? They would all just instantly go listen to it. And even if they didn't like it, they would still go listen to just at least one episode.
Imagine the New York Times articles about us, going into the deep dives about our whatever opinions about Frozen.
Yeah.
But you know what'd be even better? If it was at the same time, former vice president and presidential candidate Joseph Biden and Donnie from Queens tweeted at the exact same time our podcast. The world would be so confused. They wouldn't know what to do.
You can't cancel us anyway.
It would be our legitimate political opinions right down the center.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we just need to keep shilling to famous people until they do it.
Yeah, I've DM'd Alfred once or twice. Most of them have been like, hey, I love your content, man. Keep it up. Also, I talk about you on my podcast. I really like you. You don't need to shill it or anything. Just listen to it. It would mean the world.
Can you imagine if, because he's definitely gonna go. He's gonna look at our podcast and he's gonna see the one that says "Senpai Alfred."
Yeah, and then he's gonna immediately delete it. That's why did we name it that?
That's what you said.
Why did I say those words? Oh man. I'm still dumbstruck that I said the word Senpai Alfred.
I can't remember if you said Senpai Alfred or Alfred Senpai.
I said Senpai Alfred.
Senpai Alfred.
Yeah, I will never forget those words.
I'll never forget that those words have exited my mouth hole.
Yeah. Oh man. So we've already talked about books and TV shows and movies, but we haven't talked about feminism.
Feminism, correct? Yes.
What's your opinion?
My opinion on feminism?
Yep.
It's this. Give me 1 second. I have to actually talk with Jerry about something.
Gerald?
Hey,
Gerald?
we can be heard again, I think. Wait.
Gerald.
Headphones. Let's try this. Let's see what we sound like.
Jerry, did you unplug the audio system?
So, Jerry, in attempting...
What was the last thing that we said?
So, Actually, he probably just cut out all the jokey feminism stuff.
Oh, thank good. Thank God.
Jerry, in an attempt to stop the computer that we're recording this on from dying, because it's at 2%, unplugged something and plugged the charger in, because the charger is plugged into the computer but not into the wall.
Okay, you know what?
Which unplugged the audio system.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So now we just have no lights besides that one back there and the window, but that's fine.
Thank you, Beverly Hills.
We can still see.
Oh, man. So
Beverly Hills, I think Beverly Hills ripped us off on the studio.
Yeah, I think that just like with your Jackie Chan thing, that got cut out perfectly.
Perfectly.
Perfect. Never happened. Pure
Never
fiction.
happened.
Figment of your imagination.
We just divinationed it away.
Yeah, we did. Do we want to talk about? You have a girlfriend now.
That's correct.
Yeah, first one.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, rate her 1 to 10.
Okay. 10? Like
10. Okay, good response. Good response.
What am I supposed to respond with that?
I don't know. I'm happy for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a time.
Yeah. Oh, we need to cut out what you just said about Rachel. Wow.
No. What? No. The awkward silence is gonna make it sound like we cut something. Laughs maniacally.
Raquel, he said nothing. You're okay. All right. So that's sweet. That's wholesome.
The wholesomeness.
Yeah.
And you also have one.
You know what? It's true. Her name is Alona.
Yep.
She's probably listening.
We could assume so.
We can assume so. Alona's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how episode 1 we were joking about how it's like the two of us never like our intention was just not to date until it felt right.
Yeah.
And then we were both like the same day decided. Yeah, it feels right.
Actually we'd already been dating at that
So
point,
had I.
but
So
yeah,
we'd already been in communication, but we told each other the very same day.
Yeah, we were like, oh, okay, then.
I went public and I asked her dad, and it was chivalry and it being dead and what
Yes.
so. But I asked her dad on July 4th.
Yeah.
So that America can be even better.
Yeah.
And like that was like when it was official. And like what is it? It's like July 24th. But we'd been seeing each other for a couple weeks before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I have to be concerned with her dad because while she says her dad is like a nice dude and would never hurt anyone, his entire
What a great way to preface this.
his entire business is making hatchets and hammers and tools.
Yeah. All labeled Jackson, right?
Yeah, he definitely has.
For Jackson.
He definitely has like he could just craft an axe that specifically is like my weakness.
the Jackson kryptonite axe.
Yes.
What would your kryptonite be?
I don't know. It would be just straight up a normal axe.
It would be non-American food. You wouldn't eat it.
Oh.
I didn't mean to come for you and your entire family like that. I'm sorry. On your birthday, no less.
On my birthday.
On your birthday, no less.
Oof.
What do you think? Well, I think my kryptonite's really easy. It would just be a pork axe. Be a non-kosher axe.
A non-kosher axe?
Yeah. We need to ask that to Brendan and Hayden when we have them on.
Yeah. What
would your kryptonite be?
Your kryptonite axe.
Yeah.
What would it be?
That's a good question. And we also need to ask them their favorite waifu.
Oh boy.
See, my favorite waifu is Alona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've talked about Zach on the podcast some, but we were talking kind of early in the podcast about like people listening to us, and he says as soon as he sees my story on it, he goes and listens to it.
That's cute.
Because he's dope. He's the coolest man. He probably had no, and he appreciated it. But another great person who we're glad is listening to the podcast is Molly. And she told me...
She listens to this podcast?
Yeah, she told me last night that
That's
she listened to episode 3. And I forgot to ask her, but I meant to ask her. And if you listen to this and hear this, you can just text me. Did you understand anything we were talking about? Because we definitely had like a 20-minute conversation about waifus and anime that she probably had no idea what was going on.
Oh man, I think that was a good discussion, all things considered.
So actually, an interesting, it was a good discussion, interesting recommendation, and I think this is a good idea from my mom because she listened to that one too, and she says if we're gonna talk about something like that, define our terms, because she could kind of figure it out, but she really had no idea.
What terms did Andrea not quite understand?
Waifu, like what that means.
Do we need to define a waifu for the masses?
I think we should, considering many of our friends, like half our friends definitely know what it means, their half definitely don't.
So waifu, singular noun.
Yes.
Referring to a fictional character who you would like to be your wife.
Yes.
This usually refers to anime.
Anime.
Which anime girls have a stereotype that they are written just to be attractive girls, because most viewers of anime are men who will be
single for the rest of their life.
Yes, single for the rest of their
By
lives.
choice or on accident.
Involuntarily celibate or voluntarily. Yeah. But the waifu is quite a exotic term used by many scholars.
Joe Exotic term. Joe Exotic best waifu.
Okay, we need to tell a story about last night. So
Dude, wait, that song has to be played at your wedding, right?
Oh man, it does. It does. So Jackson and I went to go get Five Guys last night because we bros. We
only go to restaurants with guys in the name.
Yeah.
To show how men we are.
We only go when there's Five Guys.
Also, I just saw your text before the podcast. You responded to me.
You're welcome. So Jackson and I were texting, and we both like not communicating, especially over text. We like communicating in person, but he sent me like, hey, these are places we could go, and I'm fine for anywhere. And I was like, same. And he said, I haven't had Five Guys in a while, so that sounds good. And I responded this morning with, your mom hasn't had Five Guys in a while. And we're just going to leave that there as I continue the story.
Yeah.
We were joking. I was telling Jackson that that Joe Exotic has a band. So you know the Tiger guy, right?
Yeah.
The Tiger guy.
Yeah.
On Tiger King with the funny hair.
I still haven't watched that. Have you watched it?
Oh man, it's so fun. I watched it specifically for one scene where, okay, so for those of you who have not watched Tiger King, there is an amazing part where, so Joe Exotic is a homosexual man. Good for him. He got two heterosexual people to be intimate with him, to use kid-friendly terms. Now, these two heterosexual people, when asked, why were you, doing that with Joe when you aren't into men? And they're like, Joe Exotic got them to tattoo things like property of Joe Exotic on them. Like, it's like really creepy stuff. But these men, when asked why they would do this with Joe Exotic, responded, and I quote, well, 7 tigers is 7 tigers, man. Joe Exotic just offered these guys 7 tigers to sleep with him.
Yep.
It's the biggest power move in the world.
You really, you think these people like this only exist in fiction? You watch that show. I haven't
7 tigers!
I haven't actually watched that show. I've seen, clips of it. And I'm like, these humans don't seem like real people. They seem like characters from, a Dan Harmon TV show.
I just thought of, Abrahamic stories.
They all
where it's
seem like they should
I'll take your daughter? Oh, no. You can only have my daughter if you give me 35 goats. But then Joe Exotic comes through and is like, I'll take your daughter if I give her 7 tigers. And it's like, sold! Take my daughter and my son, too!
This,
man.
Every single person on that show seems like a Rick and Morty character.
True. Yeah, all of them are bad people.
All of them are just
the point I'm trying to make is
I've heard there's 2 people on the show that are actually good humans.
The documentary people, the people recording it,
the cameraman.
Yeah, they're Jerry.
That's how we found Jerry. He was the
yes. Is that canonical, Jerry? Did you work on Joe Exotic's Tiger King?
Yeah, he worked on one episode and then left because he was uncomfortable.
Oh yes, they didn't let him wear the magic carp head.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was specifically in his terms and conditions.
Yeah,
but beyond that, the Vince Johnson Band, okay, that's the name of Joe Exotic's country band, has a song called "I Saw a Tiger." All right,
and we can't play it.
I wish we could because it's the most heavenly song I've ever heard.
For all those people in the European Union who got Article 13, we can't play it for you. I'm sorry.
No memes allowed.
There's
no one in Europe who listens to us yet.
Not yet. There's one. The one British exchange student.
The one. Shout out to who are the Morgans? We're about to have Hayden on, but
we are, and
an
4
hour.
minutes.
Yeah. Beyond that, well, I'm going to finish this what we were talking about because I was telling Jackson about how revolutionarily bad this country band was because it's exactly what you think in a bad country band, but it's by Joe Exotic and the name is I Saw a Tiger, and this is the chorus. All right. I saw a tiger. Now I understand. I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw a man. All right, and what happened is we were done with Five Guys. We were saying hello to the other 2 guys in the room, and we were leaving. Get into my car. I'm about to take Jackson home, and it just blares on the radio. I saw a tiger, and a tiger saw a man. And I was just Jackson and I were so full of not only love, but also just a deep, intimate understanding of Joe Exotic is speaking to us.
And I don't like it.
I didn't consent to it, but you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm fine with Joe Exotic playing on my radio when I least expect it.
That's a... All right, kids.
That probably wasn't funny to most people or entertaining.
Or no.
But man, you and I have the memory of Joe Exotic singing to us a lullaby, serenading us in the ways of the tiger. All right.
The Way of the Tiger's the new Home D&D class you're making. It just turns you into Joe Exotic.
Oh no.
Honestly, if Joe Exotic was an actual D&D character, he'd be Way of the Platypus Monk.
Yeah, I'd say so. He'd be a totem barbarian.
Tiger totem?
Yeah, tiger totem barbarian.
Yeah.
That exists. It's in Skag.
Oh, yeah. No, that does exist. Have you seen the UA feats yet? They added a bunch of them.
Nope.
But there is one that Davy Chappie described as F, because basically allows you, when you take this feat, you get to choose a fighting style. He goes, so now the barbarian can get great weapon fighting because F you.
Yeah.
And it's not that good for anyone else.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea.
That's a feat that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a couple ones that I like.
I'd like that for like a blade singer.
Yeah,
a blade singer. No. What is it? Swords bars already get a fighting style.
Yeah, but the ones that I think they're interesting that could be interesting, but I'm not the biggest fan of. One gives you a warlock invocation.
I totally already did that, but that's all right.
Yeah, and one
I already made a feat for that.
Gives you a meta magic.
Yeah, I mean, I already did that as well, but that's okay.
Which I'm not a big... The Warlock one is... The Evocation one is interesting and probably just is better. The best person to take it is a Warlock just to get another one.
Yeah.
But what I do...
Well, some of the invocations are so good.
Yeah.
Because you can get ones that... You can get proficiency in Charisma and not in Charisma, in Persuasion and Deception via that.
Yeah.
Just bam, instantly. I mean, you can also do that with Skilled, I guess. But
here's one.
Yeah.
The prerequisites are all levels for a lot of them. 14th level means you're a 14th level rogue. You take this feat, you can get alter self at will.
No, it should just be base level invocations. You should not be able to be a character level. I'm saying this as a critique of that. Yeah. That's for power balance.
I don't know if you can, but I think you can just take any of them if you are at that level.
I don't like that.
Well, I don't like the meta magic one.
We're getting a call. I'm getting a call from Brendan Gardner.
Is he?
Hello, Brendan.
Hello. I am at the church. Where exactly?
All right.
Okay, he is at the church. So with Brendan Gardner on the phone, this has been the Perfectly Average Guys podcast.
Oh, yeah.